Righto, here we are, Strath Creek Falls. Let's see what we can do. It's a big hill behind the trees, but if I think I have to go up, but first get down this bit. Yeah, not a lot of water. I think if I feel like do the walk, that's the hill. Exciting. Now, this is pretty obviously a little track just here, and then I can see it looks like it goes over there. I don't want to get down right on the edge of the waterfall, so I'll go down and see if I can go up there a little bit around. It looks a bit sketchy. Lots of little froglets trying to hide. There's not much water, hope it rains from. Falls drops that way. Windsor whatever, but it's a little bit steep coming around that bit there. Turned out there's another track higher up which I hadn't seen. But it's the kind of place you're going to have a bad day if you slip. Anyway. Alright. So I've got to go up. I might start with this gully. It seems to be close to where I think you get out. Heard some not horror stories, but some old blogs that there was a lot of fire regrowth, but that was a decade ago, so I'm hoping it's a little more open now. We'll find out soon. Leaving the gully after about 20 metres. That's the hill I want to go up. Looks like there might even be an old pad. And up we go. Steepness, here we go. So, making our way up. There's a good pad here. It's obviously being used by either animals or people. So, apart from the incline, it's pretty simple. So it's levelled off a bit. I think it stays pretty flat. Come up Barnes Road. You can see little bits of the waterfall behind me, but nothing that would have shown on the videos. Wasn't worth catching. It was a bit steep, but maybe because I'm fresh it didn't seem that bad. Anyway, I made it to McMahon's Road. What did I say? I didn't do my normal opening. It's what is it? February 26th, Sunday. And yeah, well, you know where I am. It's a short walk down the hill. I'm at the intersection with Diggers Gully Road. So this way, I think we got a kilometre or two on this track before we head bush again. Don't know really what to expect on this walk apart from some steep bits and possibly rough bits. There's obviously not much water. Read on a couple of blogs, Hiking Fiasco and Going Feral One Day at a Time, which are great blogs, even though I think Hiking Fiasco isn't updated these days. Hiking Fiasco was 2011 and that was when there was heavy bushfire regrowth, so apparently it was quite a nightmare. And Going Feral, I think it was only in the last couple of years, so it should be similar to that. But there's also a write-up and GPS for on I guess trailhiking.com.au, and yeah, they'll take slightly different routes. So it's a bit mix and match today. We'll see how we go. We'll see how enjoyable it is, how far I push on. Yeah. Right, it's Digger Gully Link 1. Keep going on Digger Gully Road. It's not too bad today, the weather. It's a bit warmer than I'd hoped. Probably started a bit late. And change came through yesterday, so it's supposed to be low 20s, but with direct sunlight it still feels pretty warm. Some really big tadpoles in there. Alright, here's where we head into the spur down to Diggers Gully. See you later, Diggers Gully Road. Although I know my luck, I'll come to something impassable and have to turn around and come back. So far, easy going through the bush, just a nice pad or track sort of thing. Okay, after that lovely little walk through the bush. The trail's leading that way and I'm inclined to follow it, even though when I looked, I think it was trail hiking's GPS, they went down this way. So there might be a different track down that way. Anyway, I'm going to follow the obvious pad so that it seems the best to move. Alright, so we're dropping down steeper now into Diggers Gully. Come back up this spur. So far I've come down there. It probably doesn't look steep, but it's glad I don't have a heavy backpack on, but I've dropped a fair bit of height. Still got a little bit to go. And still steep and slippery underfoot with all the gravel and chipped leaves and whatever. But I think according to the topo, it's supposed to level out soon, although it looks like it drops off. So this could be interesting. Finally got to a more civilized incline or decline on the slope. Nearly at the bottom, Diggers Gully. I'm not expecting any water or anything, but we'll see how we go. So I made it into the majestic Diggers Gully. Not exactly wet. I think the falls are that way about a little while, but yeah, still don't see the point. There might be any water, so I'm just going to head this way. That hill was interesting coming down. I reckon paradoxically it'd be easier going up because you could always just sort of lean into the hill. Anyway, let's get going. Been travelling sometimes in the creek bed and sometimes beside it. There's actually a really good pad beside it. It's easier than walking on the rocks. I'm surprised how easy the walk is so far. Like, not including inclines or declines, but there's always been no navigational issues. I think on the edge of private property, and somewhere up there I go. Back to Marnes Road. So Diggers Gully was a gully. Certainly was a gully. Dry. And I saw a black swamp wallaby, a kangaroo, and currawong and a magpie. It's pretty quiet. Although it's a wildlife. I saw a wild dead. There was a dead roo too. Anyway. So getting up the spur back to McMahon's Road. I must have ventured a little bit close to the private property when I started because I've only just noticed on top of the spur there's an old track, but it's such open bush it doesn't really matter. And I was always aiming for the top of the spur. I just started from the side. Anyway, off we go. I made it back to McMahon's Road. Go that way a bit, I don't know, a few 100 metres, maybe 500 metres, could be a bit more. You can jump over a fence or a gate and head down Strath Creek and then walk along Strath Creek back to the base, or almost to the base of the falls, and then a really steep hill, gets you back to the car park. And this way, go back up a bit to along McMahon's Road, then retrace steps down to the top of the waterfall. I think I'll go this way. The other way, the end bit I think I'll be exhausted by then and may not be any fun going up a really steep hill. I'll get some still steep stuff this way. Oh. Just for the last best part of a kilometre since I got back on the track, it's just pretty reasonably steep, but navigation's not an issue obviously, and I think it levels out soon. I'll level it out a bit. Somewhere around here's the Tunnel Hill Road where there's some falls. Might be that one. Where I think on Big Kev's going feral blog, he went up that way and then he climbed out real steep. So would have ended up somewhere here. Anyway, it seems to be the done thing for most people to go back this way. So I started climbing up from the Diggers Gully. I was about 290 metres, something like that. And now I'm just over 500 metres. So what's that? 200 metres? Okay, I suppose it's not bad. Feels like it might have been more, but I'm starting to cook up in not much air. It's pretty hot. Not as hot as the other day with all the fires and that, but when the sun's on you and yeah, there's no wind, although there's a little breeze here, you really feel it. Anyway. What do we have here? Going to snaky you, matey. About a metre long, maybe a bit more. I'm guessing he's a brownie. Beautiful little snake. It's gorgeous. Well, she's gorgeous, whatever. Back to the junction of McMahon's and Diggers Gully Road, so I guess I've done some sort of loop. That's the way I went before. Just up the top here a little bit, a few hundred metres, and then down through the scrub to the top of the falls. There you go. Decent sized grasshoppers around here. Alright, here's the top of the spur down to the falls. I think someone's going to put a little can there. But that's alright. So this is as steep as the drop into Diggers Gully down the bottom, so I could be wrong. But definitely some flat. Probably not quite as steep as Diggers Gully, but it's steeper than I guess coming up you just don't notice. So back to Strath Creek. Such as this. Over there's the way track that leads up the way I came in, but it looked like a bit closer to the drop of the falls. You could pretty much go up a rock and be at the viewing area, so I might look at that since I'm not in danger of getting washed over. And if not, I'll come back. That's the view water gets. It's just about to plunge over. Yeah, that's pretty deadly. Alright, get out of here. So you could go on that rock and then up there a bit and then you're up high enough, but you slip and there's a 2 or 3 metre bang, so not worth it when there's a track. So that's the spur I came down, just on the top bit, obviously not the cliff side, and I also went up at the start. Anyway, almost back into civilization. Steps, lots of them. Nearly back to the top. The steps get you at the end. Anyway, there's my little waltz. We'll wander around Strath Creek and Diggers Gully. About 11, about 10.5 k's with some quite steep bits. Be better if I had water, I reckon. The rocks might be a bit slipperier in the Strath Creek and Diggers Gully, but this should have waterfalls instead of just falls. But anyway, it's all good. Strath Creek. And that's about it.